So be sure to watch this page. This is your best source of truth. We're here week after week. We have some gaps we'll be filling in shortly. Register for events and come along with us. Then we also have a YouTube channel. This event today and all our previous events end up here eventually. If you ever miss an event or want to review one or share it with a friend, this YouTube channel is the place to do that. All of our events will be here, future and past eventually. We have a space on HubSpot community, community.hubspot.com. It's great. It's fine. We like community. We also have some space on LinkedIn. See if Deanna's devs can keep up with me. It's also good. But the best place I feel for admins to connect with each other online is this Slack community called Sprocketeer. If you are not a member, definitely recommend you join. It is now over 2,000 people strong, and it is a great place to meet with your peers. Whether you are a beginning admin or an established one, there are people to connect with, people who can help you brainstorm solutions to problems, people you can help. It's just a really great place to get just-in-time sort of support from fellow HubSpot users. It's not officially sponsored by HubSpot in any way, but it is a lot of really passionate HubSpot users. HubSpot Academy runs boot camps. The one for super admins is coming up in mid-October. Registration, I believe, is now open. So go ahead and register. It's a 6-week, once a week Zoom-based meetup where you're taught things about being an admin and given homework to do in your own portal to help you clean it up and iron things out. Even if you've been an admin for a while, this is a good way to revisit your foundation, so highly recommend it. Then we have a couple of documentation pages here. Bevy is the name of the webinar platform we are using for this session. If you have any trouble, if at any point a presenter is talking about one thing, but you're seeing something different on their screen, if you lose audio, if something is frozen, your most basic troubleshooting practices are the best ones. You can turn off, turn back on, leave and come back, refresh the page, try a different browser. One of those things is bound to fix the solution in almost every, fix the problem in almost every case. And then again, we are here every week. We would love to hear your ideas for topics or speakers we could have here to make this as valuable as possible for you. So Deanna, thanks so much for the visuals. I'm so embarrassed I couldn't share my screen. Anyway, we have a great team here today, all members of HubSpot's product team here to talk you through some updates that I think are all really exciting. There's been a ton of updates recently. The lead up to Inbound was a flood, a tidal wave. And here we're going to highlight 5 that I think are definitely worthy of your attention. And we're going to start with Isat, talk a little bit about Chrome fanciness. So go ahead and take it away.
Awesome. Thanks, Kyle. Good morning or good afternoon, everyone. I am based in Seattle, Washington. So it's a bit early for me, so apologize if my brain is running a bit slow. But yeah, my name is Isat. I am a product manager, and I own the Chrome extensions and Outlook add-ins for SalesHub. So today I'm really excited because we're about to go to GA with a feature we've been working on recently called SalesHub Everywhere. And so I'm actually going to demo a couple of the cool features that's available in that. You are more than welcome to join the public beta of it. But again, it's going to go to GA pretty soon. So look for that in your portals soon. So let me first start by sharing my screen. So just to set it up, what we've seen with Chrome extension and our Outlook add-ins is that we're allowing our users to access SalesHub and a lot of HubSpot data from within their inboxes. But what we really wanted to do was respond to feedback that we got from a lot of our users about being able to access the same information, the same tools, the same data, wherever they may be. There's a lot of use cases for it. You've seen a lot of other tools that really make use of that Chrome extension and the fact that it can live everywhere. And so we first started with the ability to do research and prospecting and really bring HubSpot with you as you're researching your prospects. So if you haven't had a chance to play with this feature, so I can show you what it looks like to set it up. But once you have updated the Chrome extension, so this is a Chrome extension right now. And if you have joined the beta, you'll see this. If not, you'll see it when it goes to GA next week. You'll see that there's now a new settings menu in the drop down here. And you'll see that there's a couple new features. So one is that you can also turn it on in Salesforce. So we have some customers who actually want this extension to work in Salesforce allows you to enroll multiple contacts at a time from your Salesforce CRM. But what I'm talking to you about today is the ability to turn it on all other websites. So this gives you the ability to see, you can see in the background here, the extension pop up wherever you may be prospecting or researching or doing just additional context building for your customers. You'll also see here that I know Kyle said this is not fully about AI, but there is some AI in here, and that now you can also bring Copilot with you wherever you may be. So this might help you as you're researching. It might help you to just like brainstorm things, and I'll show you what that looks like as we go through this. I'll try to check the chat, but Kyle, if there's something that comes up, please let me know. I am not good at multitasking, especially
no, it's fine. I'm here. Yeah, no questions yet, but I'm leaving helpful notes anyway.
Awesome. Okay, so let's get into it. So as you're doing some research, you might be looking at different websites. You'll see here that the HubSpot icon shows up on the side of your browser. You can drag and drop this wherever you might want in case it's in your way or it's just not in the right place for you to click on. But when you click on it, it opens up the side panel in Chrome. The side panel in Chrome is really, really flexible. It's actually a new thing in Chrome that they've been trying to get everyone to adopt, but allows you to kind of bring in a really nice slice of HubSpot right there in your browser. So here you see it's basically similar to the Gmail and Outlook sidebars where you can see about this company, any deals that you want to associate or tickets you want to associate with this company. One thing that's different, as you might have already recognized, is that this is showing company view. In Gmail and Outlook, we are kind of leaning forward with the contact view, but now we can elevate you and actually show you all the things about a company. So now, as you're doing research on your prospect, you can actually see what is all the activities that's associated with this company, so that you get the full history of what's going on. You can also use any of the communicators that you see in your portal. So for example, like you want to add a note, you can actually click note and it'll just pop up the note window and you can type it in, save it, close, all without ever having to leave where you are contextually in that website. Additionally, if you do have contacts already in your the company that you're prospecting, you can go into here. It'll show you all the contacts. You can search for whatever name you want. We have more ideas of how we might make that search more powerful, how we might make filtering more powerful. But if you do click into a contact, this view should look very similar in that, again, we'll show you details, associated deals and tickets, and then also, again, like any activities. And what we see a lot of people doing from here is that then they can say, all right, I want to enroll this contact in a sequence, do that, click select, enroll them in a sequence, and then again, get back to where you are when you're researching. Now that's the example of a company that you might already have in HubSpot. But what about when you're doing brand new prospecting? You're looking at new companies that you don't already have company records for. So for example, this company is interesting to me. What I can actually do is I can actually add it to HubSpot from here. So this gives me a slice of the company data that we have available. I can click add to HubSpot, and from here, just click create, and then boom, you're already there. You're back in the company view, and you can do the same things that I was showing you before. Let's see. I'm trying to think of anything else that might be interesting. The other one that I've been playing around with it a little bit more, but I hope that you're able to use some of this. But now that you can bring Copilot with you wherever you might be, and you're in the browser, you're in the context of your prospect's website, you can use some of the research prompts that's available to you in Copilot. And what the Chrome extension will actually do is it will pre-fill the domain that you're on so that it's at least just one click less for you to do. So for example, I just added Polestar to my HubSpot CRM. I want to do some research. So I click research company and it says, all right, research this company, polestar.com, because we already know you're in polestar.com. So I'm assuming that's what you want to do research on. And then when you send the message, Copilot will send you interesting information. And then from here, you can actually just, you can see all the data you like. And let's see if it works this time. If you tell Copilot to just add this to a note, it will actually detect that, all right, you're talking about Polestar, the company that's in your CRM, and it will add that as a note in HubSpot. So for example, you can see here, it added it as a note in Polestar. So just to confirm, if you wanted to just look at that from here, you can see that there's a note that I created today that has all that information from the research. So let's see, is there anything else I can do? No, I think that's the bulk of it. So let me see if there's any questions I can answer for people live on the call.
There are mostly people they're excited and wondering how to get this to work. So if they don't have the Chrome extension, where do they get that? Can you show the setting again to turn on? And as of today, right now, do they need to be opted into the beta for the options to appear? Or is this, you mentioned at the beginning, it's hitting GA soon?
Yeah, so right now it's in beta. So you can join the beta, look up SalesHub Everywhere, but we're going to go to GA in about a week or so. So what you can do today is that you can go to the web store, the Chrome web store, if you don't have it downloaded yet. Look for HubSpot Sales, and then download this extension. So this extension will give you kind of the Gmail experience if you have that, but also it'll also include the features I showed you today. And then once you have that downloaded, you have that set up. If you join the beta, or maybe just wait till next week when it starts rolling out to GA, you'll go to settings. This is turned off by default, but you can come in here, turn it on, turn on all other websites, turn on anything else that might be useful, and then you can start using it on your prospect's website.
Cool. And Hannah is asking if she needs to uninstall her current extension to get this, or if she just opts into the beta, will the feature show up?
Nope, it's the same extension. So if you opt into the beta, you'll just the one thing that you can tell if you know you're in the right beta is that this screen is completely different. So right now, without being in the beta, it's sort of got like a dark theme. So once you update it, once you join the beta, you'll see that there's a new settings tab that lets you all do all these things. But it's the same extension. So if you already have it installed, then yes, you can just join the beta and then start using it today.
Cool. Ricky coming in here with an excellent admin type question. What happens if you're on the website of a company that exists in your CRM but is owned by another user?
Yeah, I'd love to hear more about that, because what we do today is that we don't prevent you from seeing things that are owned by other people. What we do want to show you is if you're able to surface the company owner, then you can see the company owner from here. Because what we hear a lot from our users is that sometimes I'm prospecting, I don't know who actually owns it, so I have to go into HubSpot, check the ownership, and then go back to research, or like stop the research because I realize someone has already claimed that. But the benefit of having it right here is that you can pull it open, and then you can look for that field, a company owner, and you can realize, oh, this is owned by me, or no, this is not owned by me, this is owned by someone else. But you would be able to see it right here, regardless of who owns the company. I'd love to know, though, if there's anything else that you think might not work that we can consider for a future enhancement.
Cool. I think that's mostly all from the chat. I'm hopping over into the Q&A now because there's 10 things in there. We'll see. Can we add other cards on the records or no? So right now, I assume this is talking about, we see like about this company and the deals and the tickets.
Yeah, so we're looking into adding more cards. Just so we're basically looking at what's the most widely used cards and slowly adding some. Configurability is something we're also looking into. I'd love to hear more about like what cards you want to add and what things you might find useful, and maybe we can follow up after this so I can learn more about it.
Cool. Karina says the side panel is opening on the left for her. Any way to control position? That sounds, anyway.
That's interesting. I'll have to play around with that. I don't think I've been able to do that thing, but yeah, I'll play around with it. I did want to show you one last thing. One thing I forgot to mention about the side panel in Chrome. We had a different idea for it, but we moved to the side panel because we realized one thing that's really cool about the side panel is that you can expand and collapse it as much as you want. So one thing that we've seen some of our beta users do is that they actually have Copilot open, they have the side panel open, and they have the prospect's website open. It's multitasking galore, but some people love it because they get access to 3 different windows in one window. Yeah, that is the benefit of the Chrome side panel, being able to expand and collapse.
Cool. We should probably move on to the next presenter, but just 2 fire round questions. This is Chrome only, right? No other browsers?
Yes, this is Chrome only right now.
And then also it probably works fairly well in other Chromium-based browsers. But so someone asked about Edge, which I believe is now Chromium. So you can try it, but no guarantees.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then someone also asked if there's a mobile experience for this, and I assume this is desktop only. I don't think
this is just within the Chrome desktop experience only, but yeah, we can talk about mobile later.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, thank you, Izat. You are welcome to engage with people more in the chat. Izat is still here. But we're going to move on now to Blake.
Cool. Yeah, I guess that is how the alphabet works. B, in fact, does come after A. And what comes after B? C, for content remix. How's that for a transition, for a segue? I'm going to be ignoring the chat and all the comments about how terrible of a joke that was until after I am done presenting, because I don't want my confidence gutted. Okay, let's dive in and take a look at Content Remix. This product is available for Content Hub Pro and Enterprise. So if you're using HubSpot for marketers, or if you're on one of the new Content Hub products, then it's going to be available to you. Unfortunately, it is not backwards compatible with the legacy CMS Hub products. This is one of the brand new features that we launched this year for Content Hub specifically. So for this demo, I want to focus on our newest functionality that we just launched, which is video remixing. So let's say that after this session, Kyle wanted to take the recording and he wanted to do some all of his content's going to go crazy viral on LinkedIn. So he wanted to do some crazy viral LinkedIn shorts from each of the presentations that he was working on. Video remixing would be one of the ways that he could go about that. Now, because I have not yet perfected time travel, I cannot demo yet with the recording of this session. So instead, I'm going to do a demo with a recording of Andy Petrie's keynote from Inbound last week and show you how the functionality works. So to get started, we're going to hop into Remix and go to Start Remixing. And from there, we're going to be able to select our starting content. Now, this is going to work best with content that has a lot of really good context in it. So when we're working with videos, I really recommend doing something like a webinar, a keynote, a video podcast, something where we're going to be able to extract a transcript and have that really good body of content that the AI can play with and work with. If you try and use a video that has a lot of ambient noise or music and not a lot of speech in it, we're really going to struggle to create good content out of that with AI. We really need the transcript. Please give us transcripts. If you're not starting from video, we have a ton of options for you there. Inside of the web pages and text option, you can select any of your pages or blog posts that are inside of HubSpot. You can select PDFs from your file manager. You can copy and paste in text, or you can select an external URL. So for external URLs, it does need to be something that is crawlable. So if it's blocked by a robots.txt file, we will not be able to access that. But as long as it's crawlable, we can access that. And then you can also start from audio files that are in your file manager and soon podcasts that are in the podcast tool. And then we can also start from images that are in your file manager. One note on images is if you're starting a remix from images, keep in mind, this is all about repurposing. So we're extracting context and reformatting it for other channels. So when you're starting from an image, the best use case there is going to be something like, I have an infographic and I want to create short form content that pulls data out of that infographic, right? If you're trying to say I have a really cute picture of my dog, example, and I want to write a 2,000 word blog post about that, probably not going to be the best use case. But like I said, we're going to be demoing video. So we'll go in here, we're going to browse our file manager. We've got a lot of videos in here, but let's start with Andy's keynote. We'll add that content. Since this video is one that's already in our file manager, already been analyzed, we already have all of the data that we need. So super quick to get started. Then we just select all of the content types we want to produce off of it. So for our newest functionality, we'll do video clips. And then just for fun, let's also do an ad, a blog post, an email, and some social posts. Then when we hit next, we will see the attributes side panel. Please fill out your attributes. You don't have to. You can just hit generate. But attributes are what's going to give your content flavor and nuance. The objective in particular is what's going to tell the AI what is your purpose for repurposing. By default, the AI models are going to assume that you want to market or promote your starting content. And often that is not the most appropriate use case. Sometimes you want to establish topical authority. Sometimes you want to entertain your audience. Sometimes you want to just do general topical coverage for your marketing calendar. So whatever your goals are for your repurposing, put that in your attributes, define your objective, let the AI know. Otherwise, it's going to assume you're in marketing mode. But what we'll do is we'll just adjust some of our attributes because, like I said, going mad viral on LinkedIn, like always. And then once everything looks good, I'm going to break my own rules and not type out objectives for all of these because typing while live demoing is terrifying. And then we're going to hit generate. Once we do that, the AI is going to take the transcript from our video and start reformatting, repurposing, and extracting all of that good, juicy context into content that is appropriate for all of the channels that we have selected. So as you can see, our ad and our social posts are already drafted. Our longer content types, like our blog posts and our emails, they're going to take just a little bit longer to go. But our video clips, they're already ready for us to review. Now, with these, we can go in and take a look and see, okay, we got a good start, but we probably want to adjust these just a bit. So to support video remixing, our team also built an entirely new video clip editor that is transcript-based. So if you've ever worked with a tool like Descript or Opus Clip, it's going to function really similarly to that. So if you can edit a Word doc, you can edit your video clips. In this case, this clip ended up being a little bit too short. So what we're going to do is just select more of the clips more of the text that we want to include in our clip, add that to our clip. And now we have the full 18-second version of what we wanted in there. And let's see, let's just like optimize this for mobile. Since this frame doesn't have Andy directly in view, let's just put it roughly there toward the center. Then we can crop it. And once we're ready to go, we can change our caption styles. We can be trendy, go for some Brat style captions. I'm probably aging myself by thinking that meme is still relevant. And then once we're done, we just hit export. When we hit export, which I'm not going to demo live because that can take 2 or 3 minutes for the full file to process. But once we hit export, that video clip gets saved to our file manager. And we also have a sidebar that will pop in here on the side that will say share to social. And it will allow you to select your social accounts, write out your captions, do your scheduling and publishing. Or if you're not quite ready yet, you can just hit save as draft and it will be in your social posts or in your social tools ready to go whenever you're ready. One other thing I'll point out is back here inside of the remix flow, everything is built on a tree structure. So all of these content drafts that only live in Remix, by the way, so this ad, blog post, email, social, these are not in your ad, blog post, email, or social tools yet. That only happens when you hit this save and edit in app, then they become drafts in those tools. But because this is built on a tree structure, if you're reviewing this blog post and you think, yeah, this is a pretty solid blog post, I think I'm going to use it in my blog, but we never just publish blog posts on their own because it's not 2002 anymore. You can't get away with that. You got to have your ads, social posts, email, other marketing collateral to support your blog posts. It's super easy to do that. You can just hit the plus button below that and continue the process of promoting your content or continuing to expand your topical coverage based on what's important for you and for your marketing operations. The goal here is to really free up your team's capacity and give your team more efficiency. So I, as someone who came into product from a content marketing and copywriting background, would be thrilled to deliver a keynote or write a 2,000-word research and analysis document. But then if you ask me to give you a short email or series of tweets about it, I will absolutely resent you because that is not me playing to my strengths as a writer and as a content marketer. With Remix, content marketers can play to their strengths, take what they're really good at, remix it into what they're not so great at or don't particularly enjoy, and then have those strong drafts that they can then fine tune, edit, tweak, and be ready to send off into the world. And now it includes video, which is that new feature that we just launched last week. I'll pause my demo there because, like others, I am still hoarse from inbound.
Amazing. I'm gonna keep us moving forward, but chat is exploding with excited people who love what you were showing off. There also seems to be a lot going on in the Q&A. I have given you moderator permission so you can answer those in writing and save your voice. While we move on to Harker, who is talking about one of my favorite features of the last month.
Hey there, everybody. I'm going to try and speed run this, so I'm not going to be paying too much attention to the chat, and I'll probably do what Blake is doing once I wrap up the demo. I'm going to walk you guys through the new object library, some new objects, and the data templates. So strap in, let's get ready. I'm going to share the correct screen, which is crucial to this endeavor. Perfect. All right, so here I am on my home page in my HubSpot portal, and the first thing I'm going to do is go check out the object library, which is in settings. So I'm going to hit my gear icon and come down. You'll see the new tag next to the object library. Heads up, this is in beta. If you want to sign up for this beta, the keywords you need to search in your product updates are expand. If you look for expand, you'll see something around expand your data model. That's the beta. So let's click into the object library. This is the object library, and it shows you in blue with the check marks all of the objects that are already enabled in your portal. You can see that I have deals, contacts, companies, courses, and tickets. And then I also have services, listings, and appointments that are available for me to deploy. If I want to see details about a given object, I can click into the details tab, and you'll see this side drawer open on the right. This will show me all of the properties and associations that come stock with this object. So we can see here are the properties, here are the associations. I will call out, some of these have more properties and associations than others, so don't forget to paginate if you need to. And there's also a link to templates, which we'll get into in a minute. The idea here is that if one of these objects is appealing to you for your use case, you can simply enable it by checking this box. You'll get a summary modal that tells you that if you activate this object, it will show up and be used in all of the tools that are listed here, and you can hit confirm. So the object itself might be interesting to you, but an additional layer to this is that we now have data templates that allow you to not just make this object available in HubSpot, but depending upon your industry, the template might give you even more support and more of an easy button experience. A thing that I'll say before we go into the templates is that the current available templates are, these objects are available, I believe, for everyone. And the templates experience, real estate and education are for Pro Plus. There is a healthcare template that is currently enterprise only. And the reason for that is sensitive data is an enterprise feature. And in order to enable that template, you do need to have that sensitive data feature turned on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually show you guys the templates experience. To do that, we're going to go down to data management and go to our data model. Once this beta is turned on for you, you'll see this new button over your data model overview that says define data model with templates. If we click into that, you can see the available templates. So here's real estate, healthcare, which you will see a hover over that you need to opt into HIPAA covered sensitive data in order to use it, and education. I'm going to choose real estate for today. And if I click next, I'm able to review what's in this template. So the first thing that's important is this will activate the listing object because the listing object is necessary for the template to be installed. I can then see everything that's included in this template, and it is selectable on an a la carte basis. So if one of these properties or associations or pipelines is great for me, but another isn't, I can choose them individually. And so here I can see there is a listing to contact association that is already pre-labeled with listing agent. If I keep scrolling down, there will be a few properties that will be added to my contacts object. Again, I can choose or not choose any of them. So if I already have a role property on my contact, I don't have to install this one if I don't want to. A cool thing here is that you can also see what are the default values in some of the drop downs. So for role, I see buyer, renter, commercial, or investor. If I keep scrolling, there is also a contact to listing, so the reciprocal of the initial association that we talked about. And here are our custom pipelines that go on to deals. So you see a renter pipeline, a buyer, and a seller pipeline. And again, these are, you can select all or a la carte. There's also a maintenance pipeline that is attached to tickets. So I'm going to say I'm happy with this template. I don't need to make any other selections or edits. And so I'm going to click next. In this screen, it will review all of the changes that will be applied when I am going to deploy this template. I can click confirm and done. And you can see tickets is installed. Let's move that CSET, and listings is installed, and I'm able to use them right away. That's me. Hope you guys like it. We're really excited about it.
It's a wild new world. I don't know, just seeing this back to back with content remixes, like you can create entire data models in just a couple of clicks. You can remix videos into blog posts in just a couple of clicks. Everything's becoming so easy. We can pull information from the internet and build company records. Cool. Thank you, Harker. As you mentioned, I'll just let you reply to questions asynchronously. I think we've got most of them in the chat. The Q&A is popping though, so maybe go look over there. Melissa, I believe you are next.
All right. I'm click happy today. I'm like stopping video. Okay. Here we go. Alrighty. So my name is Melissa. I'm the product manager on the meetings team at HubSpot. So please come to me with all of your scheduling page feedback, your booking through the CRM feedback. That would be me. Something that the meetings team has been thinking about a lot this past year is how we can get more time back in the hands of sales reps. So we've done a lot of helping make scheduling more efficient, but what we haven't done a lot of until recently is finding ways that we can help you have better meetings. So today I'm going to be showing you Meeting Assistant, which is a way that you can help your reps prepare for upcoming meetings, making sure that they have all of the context that they need. And yes, it does have a little bit of AI in it. Sorry, Kyle. We'll also be looking at ways that we can help your reps follow up after a meeting too. And I've seen a couple of our really early beta testers in the chat. So shout out to Chad and Chris that I saw in there. Thank y'all for your early beta testing. We are still iterating, but I definitely wanted to show y'all what we have. So here I am in the sales workspace, which is also in beta. So check that out if you have not already. But in the sales workspace, you can see all these guided actions of where you should be focused right now as a sales rep. So one of my first guided actions that I have right here is letting me know that I have a meeting about to start in 24 minutes. So I can hop into this prepare flow and start getting ready for that meeting. All right, so I have a couple meetings starting in the next hour, but this is my first one, so I'll start here. I can see that I'm meeting with Carson Long. I could click on that contact if I wanted to kind of dive a little bit more into the contact record. But at the top of my screen, I can see like who I'm meeting with. I can see the details of the meeting. I'm able to quickly join the meeting from right here too. So if I wanted to go ahead and launch this, I think I have a Google Meet linked. That would open in a new tab for me. I can also see any deals that are associated to this meeting if I wanted to hop in there. I see any internal team notes too. So when either I booked this meeting for myself or maybe one of my coworkers booked this meeting for me, they could include some notes here that just I see, the contact would not see. And then down here, here's where a little bit of our AI comes in. We do use Copilot here. So we have a couple of recommended activities for you to go through to prepare for this upcoming meeting. I'll just click on this first one here for researching the company. So just a single click will run that prompt for you in Copilot. And this one's telling me a little bit about the company's tech stack, so I can see what they're using here. I could also maybe summarize the contact record. So I give that a second to pop up. You can see how long this has been my contact. You can see that I'm the owner. You can start hopping into recent engagements if you wanted to from here. I also see a note that this attendee that's in this meeting has not actually accepted the invite yet. So that's kind of like a flag to me, like this meeting's starting in 20 minutes and I see that Carson actually hasn't accepted the meeting yet. So I could send kind of a last minute email, please show up. Are you going to be there? Like, hopefully I'll see you in 20 minutes. So try to make sure that they join that meeting. We also have some insights here to help you prepare for the meeting. Here you see summaries of all of the notes that you've logged on that contact or company. You'll see summaries of all of your call notes, all of your emails. So if you have like a 70 email long thread, we won't make you like scroll through all of that before your meeting. We'll give you a quick summary right here. We'll also show you their 5 most recent website visits if you wanted to get a sense of kind of what they're looking at, where their focus is leading up to this meeting. We also have this overview section here, which focuses on any potential pain points that we've noticed throughout the information that you've logged in your CRM, as well as any potential opportunities for you as a sales rep. So as an example, HubSpot offers marketing automation tools that can help this company improve its social media presence. And then social media presence was actually a pain point that this customer pointed out in a previous fake call that I did with them. So it's pulling all of that context that you might need to get ready for the meeting. And that way you're not like asking the customer to repeat things that they've already said or forgotten that they've already told you something before. Something else that we do here is we help you follow up on meetings too. So you just saw me prepare for an upcoming meeting that I had. You can also follow up on meetings. So I'll click this follow up button and you can see that I have 5 meetings in this queue that I have not logged the meeting outcome for, which is super important for a lot of our admins for reporting. So I could come in here and I could log the meeting outcome. You can also see a summary of the meeting. So I can get like just a quick recap of what happened there. We'll also help you generate a follow-up email if you do have call and meeting summaries and transcriptions enabled. So you can just like click this quick button and we'll help you type out a quick follow-up email based on that conversation. So I think I will, I'll show you this one more thing. If you do want to dive a little bit more into the meeting summary, you can click this view transcript button and we'll take you to that associated call record where you can still see that summary, but now dive into like the actual transcript of that whole conversation. Any stats, like, I don't know if I should be concerned about my like patience level here. Maybe I talk a little bit fast. But yeah, just some cool insights to kind of help you with that conversation. So I will stop there.
All right. You got lots of questions in the chat. So
oh, good. I'll start typing.
Yeah, if you want to dive in there, there's a lot of pretty specific things, mostly just compatibility of different like Zoom versus Google Meet versus, and then like Gong and like customization. And anyway, you'll find them. Well, thank you for that. Rachel, over to you.
Thanks, Kyle. Okay, let me share my screen. All right. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Rachel. I'm the product manager for properties, and today I'm going to demo 2 features, and they're very different. So there's going to be a bit of a pivot in the middle of this demo. So first, I'm going to talk about highly sensitive data. So sensitive data and HIPAA data is now available to all enterprise portals. Highly sensitive data went into public beta as of last week, so I'm going to show you how to use it. And then I'm going to separately demo a new type of calculated property called time since, and time until properties. So very different use cases for these, but we'll hopefully get through them efficiently. So quick context on sensitive data. Sensitive data is a type of personal data that requires special protection by law. So if you're in an industry like financial industry where you need to store things like bank account numbers or financial data, if you're in the healthcare industry and you need to store your data in a HIPAA compliant way, that is the use case that we're solving for here. And so before you go ahead and turn on this feature, I'm going to demo it, but I highly recommend, because I'm not a legal expert, that you review our sensitive data terms, because this will help you understand exactly what types of data fall into which categories and how it'll be stored. So the first thing you're going to do is navigate to privacy and consent, and you're going to turn on the feature. So I'm in a portal where it's already been turned on, but you're going to go through a flow where you indicate to us what type of data you intend to store, whether that's personal data, financial data, or health and medical data. Specifically, if it's HIPAA covered, then we're basically signing a business associate agreement as part of the sensitive data terms. And you can go back and edit this setting later, but once it's turned on, the setting cannot be turned off because we start to give your data an extra level of encryption once this setting is turned on. Okay, so once the feature is on, then you can start creating sensitive properties to store this data. So I already cheated and actually created a highly sensitive property before this demo, but you would go through the normal property creation flow. And as part of that flow, you would mark your property as sensitive. And this setting is only available on Create, so you cannot mark existing properties as sensitive. And what you'll do as part of this flow is indicate whether it's highly sensitive, or protected health information. So in this property, I've indicated that it's highly sensitive, and the type of data that would be stored here would be things like full bank account number or social security number, things that are higher risk and require kind of additional protection. And so the user experience for that, if I go into my contacts index page, you'll notice that here I have a sensitive file property. And because I'm a super admin and this has been set to super admin only, I'm able to edit the property, view its value, everything that I can do with a normal property, which has its access managed. But with my highly sensitive property, even though I'm the super admin, this value is hidden and it's masked until I click into it, and then I can enter data. Let's say I enter someone's social security number, I click save, I give it a refresh, and then it'll be hidden again. And the reason we're doing this is because anytime a user is clicking into this property, we're logging that click and that view in the audit log so that you have a clear view of who's actually viewing the highly sensitive data. Last thing I'll say before I quickly flip to the next demo is that the way to manage access for sensitive properties is the same as how you would manage access for normal properties. So you'll use our field level permissions feature, and you can provision access to users, teams, or super admin only for these properties. All right, so now I'm going to pivot and talk about a feature that I'm really excited to have in beta, which is meant to solve for challenges that we've seen customers have around today's date. So oftentimes you may need to know date since or time until something happened. And then you might need to report on that information. So for example, deal age. You might want to know how old your deals are. You might want to know the last time since today that a contact was reached out to, so that you know whether to contact that person in the last 4 hours versus the last 2 days. And we frequently see folks setting up workflows that run every day to kind of work around this and get that updated in HubSpot, because that value is constantly changing. And so to solve for this, we've created a new type of calculated property called, let me find my property, time, there we go, time since and time until properties. And I've cheated and also already created one, but the way that you'll do this is create your calculation property, and then within the calculated property type, we've added 2 additional dropdowns, time since and time until. And if you just select time since, then you'll have a start date dropdown, and then the end date will be locked as today's date. And so what you'll do is be able to select one of your date or date time properties that already exist in your portal. So I selected create date, and then create this calculation to display the time between create date and today's date. So let's see how this actually works. If I go into my deal index page, so I've created two of these properties. So I created a time until property that's pulling from my date time test 2 property. And I also created the time since deal create date property, and that's pulling from my create date property. And so you can see that the value for this property is based on the difference between today and date time. So if I go ahead and change this, let's say I make it, November, then that value will dynamically change based on time between today and that date time. And then similarly for my create date, so here I have a create date that's August 28th, 2023. It's now showing the value between today and last year in August. So this feature is in private beta right now, and we know that filtering and being able to report on these properties is very important. Right now, the filtering support is not available, but we are actively working on that, and we plan to have it in place before we move to a wider release. So I think if folks have been waiting for beta access, I promise I'm going to get to it. I'm going to approve. I know it kind of got a backlog over inbound, but I would love to hear feedback, concerns, questions about this to really understand how people are using it and make sure that we're solving the problem around today's date and relative time. So that's my 2 demos. I don't know if there's any particular questions that came up.
I think Jeremy sums it up with, I am flipping tables waiting for my approval. So don't worry, everyone. As soon as this hits public beta, I will be letting the world know as loudly as I can. So I know. I think Jeremy was also the one who said, this means I can turn off 35 workflows that maybe work. So lots of pain solved here. But great. That was fantastic. Rachel, you are also welcome to dig into questions. That is the demos we've prepared. I pushed us through as fast as we could to make sure everyone got a turn, but we do have 10 minutes left. At this point, I'm a little unclear the best way to manage the questions in the chat. So it's basically 5 totally unrelated sessions just went. But if we let's focus on the chat instead of the Q&A for a minute. If anyone has questions about any of these 5 presentations, or 6 if we count Rachel's as 2 different ones, if you could just drop those in the chat, happy to take them. While we wait for that, friends here on the Zoom, maybe going in alphabetical order again, if people want to connect with you after this, do you have a preferred method for that? Do you like LinkedIn connections? Do you like straight up emails? How do you want them to connect with you? Isat, you go first.
Yeah, I think my email works, so feel free to just reach out to me directly. Kyle, is my email available somewhere else, or should I paste it here?
Just go ahead and drop it in the chat. I think is
okay.
the best plan. Blake?
Yeah, I will drop both my LinkedIn and my email here in the chat. Feel free to go directly there, copy and paste. As someone else pointed out in the chat, I have a long Swiss German surname, so feel free to click rather than try and remember how to spell it.
People were speculating that it could be modernized as live stream, which is a funny webinar joke, I guess. Harker, how about you?
I would love emails, and I'll also include my scheduling link, especially if you want to talk to me about templates or onboarding.
Cool. Melissa, I see you already dropped your email in the chat. Any guidance on topics you'd like people to reach out to you about?
Oh, just anything, meetings, scheduling, saving time for your sales reps. It doesn't even have to be meetings focused. Just come to me with everything. I'm curious.
Melissa's going to make a lot of new friends here. And then Rachel, I also see your email here in the chat. Any color you want to add to that?
Nope, drop my email. I also put a meeting link specifically for the time since and time until properties, so feel free to book if you would like.
Amazing. Well, I feel very good about all of this. I think it is okay if we want to end here. I'm going to pause and not end the meeting right away in case people are copy pasting email addresses or meeting links. But Isaac, Blake, Harker, Melissa, Rachel, thank you so much for being here 2 days into the week after Inbound. Really appreciate you demoing so many great things, leading the teams that are building these great things. To the 300 plus of you who joined this meeting today, thanks so much for being here, for your enthusiasm, for your support. We will be back next week to talk about Breeze, which will be all AI all the time. I think almost everyone here had some AI elements. So it's unavoidable, but we'll dive deep next week. But yeah, thanks everyone. This is great. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.
Thanks guys, appreciate it.